Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Dr. Cindy Ross, cancer specialist and functional medicine practitioner. Tonight, I want to have a real conversation with you about what happens when you cross that 40-year-old mark. I did a little video this week about things to do before you turn 40. And then tonight, I thought I would follow up with that about okay, if we're already 40, I'll be 48 next month, and I am postmenopause since 23 because I had a surgical hysterectomy, which put me into menopause very early. So here's the truth: by the time that you hit 40, your body stops letting you get away with things that you could in your 20s and 30s. Every single day, I hear my body is just not doing what it was even yesterday or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. It constantly changes, especially in women. Men too. Your metabolism starts to slow down. But in women, our hormones are forever changing. It is a true science. So I'm writing my next book right now, which it hopes that it will be out by October, end of October. It's called Menopausal Muscle, because it truly is a science about how we regulate our hormones, how we keep body fat down, how we keep muscle tone on, and it's something that I research from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. If you guys have questions, I am live on TikTok, YouTube, and on Facebook, so please leave me a question as long as it is relevant to this conversation. I'm happy to have all of you guys on tonight, especially on this beautiful Thursday evening. And I don't know where you are tonight. I would love to hear from where you're actually tuning in from. I am in Orange Beach, Alabama, and it is beautiful here. It's about 85 degrees, and I am still fighting a little bit of a cold, so I apologize for my scratchy voice. So, all right, let's get started. So listen. Energy dips, recovery slows, and hormones shift, and those little habits that you've been putting off, they're changing. They're starting to catch up. And I just got done seeing patients for the day, usually about 30 minutes before I jump on here live. And when I'm chatting with my patients, I mean, they are literally like, okay, I've really noticed a huge hormone shift the past maybe 6 months or the last year, and they've noticed a composition change in their body, and they've noticed maybe if they've fallen and broken a bone, they're not recovering as fast. All of these are signs that things are starting to shift. So you got to pay attention to these little God winks. The good news is it's not too late. Your body is incredibly responsive, even in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, even in your 70s, 80s. Why not? Age is just a matter of your mind. You can make changes that will extend your life, improve your energy, and prevent disease. So tonight, I'm going to share 5 things to stop doing and 5 things to start doing if you want to thrive in the decades ahead. Okay, part 1. 5 habits to stop. Number 1, stop neglecting strength training. Muscle is your longevity currency. Lift heavy shit, right? I've been listening to Dr. Stacy. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but she's amazing. And sorry, but she's all the time saying lift heavy stuff, right? Or shit, lift heavy shit. And that is something that I've really taken on, like, over the past 6 months, is really lifting heavy weights, and it's made a huge difference in my body. So start lifting if you're not already in the gym. After 40, muscle loss, sarcopenia, it accelerates at 1 to 2% per year. 1 to 2% per year of muscle loss. Less muscle equals slower metabolism, higher risk of falls, fractures, diabetes, and even cancer. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were talking about for every pound of muscle, you're burning 11 to 12 calories at rest. And for every pound of fat, you're burning, I think, 1 to 2, maybe 3 calories. So it will be very beneficial to you, and also you'll be able to eat more calories and have better response if you have muscle. Weight training is medicine. Build muscle now to protect your future self. You have to start now. If you are not in the gym weight training, start immediately. It is life. Having muscle is life. Okay, number 2, stop living sleep deprived. Sleep is when your body repairs and detoxes. Again, this is something that I'm always working on, is getting my sleep in, because it's something that I really lack in. It's not that I don't sleep well, because I sleep really well. I just don't like to sleep. I always feel like life is passing me by, and living with an autoimmune disease and having some years that were pretty bleak, I don't want to miss out on anything. So I'm always trying to stay up as late as I can and get up as early as possible, but I have really been focusing. I feel like I've gotten every other part of my life on track as far as my health, but sleep is one that I really am focusing on this year. So my goal is 7 hours. Optimal is 7 to 9. I don't feel as good if I get more sleep. The other night I got like 8.5 hours, and I felt super groggy the next morning, and I felt like I was dragging. So, I don't know I have some people that say they need 10 hours of sleep. I think forever I thrived on 4 hours of sleep, which was terrible looking back, but it's, you got to find your sweet spot. But I would say aim between 7 and 9 hours with consistent bedtime, and that is something I've been trying to be diligent with, is consistency with my bedtime. Your growth hormone peaks in deep sleep, so if you cut sleep, you're cutting muscle repair and brain healing. And remember, poor sleep also drives inflammation, blood sugar imbalances, and memory loss. Number 3, stop eating processed foods. Ultra-processed foods inflame your gut, spike blood sugar, and accelerate aging at the mitochondrial level. I was just talking about this with a patient. You got to really take care of your mitochondrial health. So whatever you need to do to fuel that mitochondrial health, you need to do it, because it will absolutely spike blood sugars, accelerates aging, cellular death as well. So really support the mitochondria. Chronic inflammation is the soil where heart disease, diabetes, and autoimmune conditions and cancer grows. So make sure that we're working on getting the chronic inflammation down by not eating the processed foods. I want you to start swapping your processed foods for real, nutrient-dense foods, plants, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Something that someone asked me today, what does my diet look like? And mine is plants and animals. I don't do any grains. I don't do any fruits. But I do eat a lot of plants. I eat my weight in vegetables, and I do eat a lot of animal protein. I was vegan last year, and my body did not like it. I stayed inflamed. So you just got to figure out what works for you, and there is no one size fits all. I have a patient that started out dabbling with carnivore, maybe went keto and a little paleo as well. So you just got to figure out what works for you. Number 4, stop ignoring stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, destroys sleep, it lowers immunity, and increases belly fat. I would start adopting some habits of doing meditation in the morning, getting your day started with meditation, and then even if it's like, I don't care if it's 2 minutes, it just helps balance you out for the rest of the day. You could start with 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then progress from there as you learn to calm that monkey brain down. Stress accelerates brain aging and inflammation. Stress isn't about removing everything stressful. It's about managing how you respond. I was telling someone earlier that I went off to a meditation retreat last year. sat in the middle of the woods for 11 days, complete silence, and I wish that I would have learned those tools, a decade ago, just to be able to handle stress and manage it without hitting burnout and going through all the trauma that I went through. It would have been very helpful, but I guess everything comes at the right time. Number 5, stop skipping labs and preventative care. Conventional labs catch disease too late. Functional medicine looks for patterns years before diagnosis. I study patterns. I look to see if there is an issue before it becomes a full-blown disease. That's what we correct and try and get the body back to a state of balance. Markers like your C-reactive protein, fasting insulin, vitamin D, homocysteine, ferritin, all give you insight into hidden risk. A lot of these will also show if you got a lot of inflammation in the body. Remember, prevention is always easier than repair. All right, so now I want to get into habits to start. Someone asked, what do I think about methylene blue? I think it's great. Definitely get your labs checked. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard on the kidneys, but just make sure that everything looks good. I don't have an issue with it at all. I am bipolar. I take meds, but every day around 4 p.m. I get really down. Why? You're more than likely, Karen, you're having some serotonin and dopamine issues there. So I would get labs checked and make sure that you're not having any absorption issues, especially with gut, leaky gut. A lot of times, like depression and things like that comes from the gut being off. So definitely get that checked out. Okay, habits to start. Number 1, start prioritizing protein and muscle. Most adults eat half the protein they need. And I would say this, track it. There's apps, Lose It. I use Fitbit. I love Lose It as well. There's My Fitness Pal. There's so many different apps, but you cannot manage what you're not measuring. So track it, because what you think that you're getting in, you're probably not getting in. Aim for about 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. And people ask, why do I need so much protein? Well, protein fuels muscle, immune function, and hormone balance. Number 2, start upgrading your sleep hygiene. This is something that I really worked on this year. Creating a wind down routine, no screens 1 hour before bed, dim the lights, cool the bedroom down. We sleep with it at about 68. I just posted something today in my stories about, I think 65 is optimal. That seems pretty chilly to me, but you sleep better, your heart rate drops. Blackout curtains help, and waking up with the sun in the morning as well. Go to bed and wake up at consistent times, and think of sleep as your anti-aging secret weapon. Have you ever noticed that when you don't get good sleep that you see more fine lines? It's true. I mean, it's going to make you look and appear older. So make sure that your sleep hygiene is becoming first and foremost one of your priorities. Number 3, start eating anti-inflammatory foods. So everybody asks, what are anti-inflammatory foods? Focus on omega-3 rich foods. Chia, flax, fish, if you eat it. Cruciferous vegetables, that's your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, berries, turmeric, and green tea. These foods switch off inflammatory genes and protect the mitochondria. Hydration. Aim for half your body weight in ounces of water a day. I am always drinking water. I do drink a lot of coffee. I do drink a lot of herbal teas. I'm always drinking fluids, so make sure you're staying hydrated. Number 4, start building stress-resilient habits. Again, daily meditation, breath work. If you are local around Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Justin, I'm going to give you a big shout out. Justin Nutt is on Facebook and also on Instagram. And he puts on these amazing retreats. He does like weekend cold plunges, yoga. He does a lot of breath work. I highly recommend checking him out because he's the one that introduced me into ice plunges. And we really worked on breath work, and I just adore him and his wife. They are amazing. So if you are here on the Gulf Coast and you are wanting to try out yoga, meditation, breath work, anything like that, cold plunges, they are always doing them. He does them over in Alberta and then also in Pensacola a lot. So definitely check him out. Justin Nutt. Sauna, cold plunges, and even a warm bath activate your parasympathetic nervous system. I do pretty much an ice bath every single evening. I used to do it in the mornings. I'm liking it in the evenings, right after I do my second sauna of the day. I sit in at about 38 to 40 degrees, and I'm in about 4 to 5 minutes. My husband goes a little bit warmer, probably like 50, 55, and he sits for about 10 minutes. So again, no one size fits all. You got to figure out what works for you. Small daily practices, they're going to protect your brain and your immune system. So I incorporate a little bit of everything. I wish I had time to do it every single day, all of it, but I try to mix it up and vary up what I'm doing for my stress resilience. And then number 5, start tracking your health. Functional labs, 1 to 2 times a year, includes hormones, inflammation, metabolic markers. Wearables like the Oura Ring or Whoop or the Fitbit, even the Apple Watch, it can show trends in sleep and recovery. I switched to the Fitbit from the Apple Watch because the Apple Watch would run out of battery. Fitbit stays charged. I know the Whoop does as well. I think the Oura Ring does as well. I've been on the fence with the Oura Ring because it is a little pricey. And I keep asking everybody, what do they think about it? If you wear an Oura Ring and you want to share with me how much you love it, I would love to hear about it. So just remember, data empowers you. Don't guess, test. Cannot manage what you're not measuring. Okay, so here's some tips. This is what I recommend to my patients over 40. Movement, strength train, 3 to 4 days per week. Walk daily. Add rucking or resistance work. You know how much I love rucking. Nutrition, build meals around protein and plants. Cut sugar and refined carbs. Remember, sugar and refined carbs cause insulin resistance. Recovery, prioritize sleep. Use sauna, red light therapy. Manage your stress daily. Mindset, consistency beats perfection. Small changes, stacked daily, compound into longevity. Alright, just remember, your 50, 60, and 70-year-old self is counting on you. It will thank you later. It's not about being perfect. It's about making choices now that will protect your future health. Longevity isn't about luck. It's about strategy. So if you found this valuable, please share it. I greatly appreciate you guys always tuning in and sharing my information. It means the world to me. I had about 5 questions come in since this morning when I posted what I was talking about today. So I want to go over these, and then if you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. Alright, what's the single best type of exercise after 40? Strength training. Number 1 for longevity. But also pair it with daily walking. The new study says about 7,000 steps a day is going to get you the benefits that you're looking for. It used to be 10,000, 7,000 is the new protocol. Question 2, how much protein should women over 40 eat? Around 100 to 120 grams is what I get. I weigh about 120, so I try to get about a gram per pound of body weight. Again, it depends on your body size and goals. What labs should I ask my doctor for? CRP, which is your C-reactive protein, fasted insulin, vitamin D, ferritin, homocysteine, your thyroid panel, hormone panel, lipids, your A1C, and of course your CBC and your CMP. But those should give you a glimpse of what's going on and give you a glimpse to see if you need to dig a little bit deeper. And again, if your doctor's not willing to run those, please feel free to contact me and I will get them ordered for you. Next question. Can supplements really help with aging? Yes, but remember, they're just support tools. They are not a magic pill. Omega-3s, magnesium, vitamin D, probiotics, and adaptogens all can help, but lifestyle comes first. Just like I said with peptides, don't waste your money if you're not willing to make the lifestyle changes, because it takes all the pieces of the pie. There is no magic pill. You got to put the work in at the gym. You got to eat right. You got to take the right supplements. You have to sleep. You got to manage your stress. You got to do all the things. What if I feel too late to start? It's never too late to start. I mean, every day that I'm at the gym every day. I don't take rest days. I see all ages. I see them all the way into their 90s, and they're still working out. So it's never too late. And just remember, I was working with a client, and I do personal training a little bit as well. And I was working with a client yesterday, and I just had her just squatting on the bench, having a seat, and getting up. No hands, dumbbells over the head. And I just told her, this exercise right here is for independence. Because the more that you can do and keep your body independent without having to rely on somebody, that's quality years. And we want you to live quality as long as possible. So it's never too late. Studies show even starting exercise in your 70s, mid-70s, you can build muscle and add years of quality life. So that wraps up the questions that I have. Unless you guys have any more, I don't think I see any on TikTok anymore. I think I got all of them. So I just want to say thanks for being here, and you can always find me on all the social media channels. Dr. Cindy Ross. Please subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't, TikTok, and email me, cindy@drcindyross.com, if you have any questions. My website is lifewellnessforever.com. I am headed out of town over the next couple weeks. I'll try to get a live in when I can, but I will definitely let you guys know when I go live. I'll try to give you a heads up, let you know what the subject is about. See if you want to tune in if it's something of interest. And as always, this will be up on my feed, so in case you missed the live, it is recorded. Hope you guys have a great night, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you.